Yeah, my name's Jonathan Rook. I'm the owner and director of Cumbria Wildflowers Limited, based in North Cumbria. I think the Chamber of Commerce do a lot of email about training courses and that sort of thing. And when that one popped into my mailbox, it was just at the time thinking that, yeah, maybe I need to just look into this. I was thinking about, obviously, the business. We've not so long upgraded our online website where we sort of e-commerce, trying to selling the plants, because we grow wildflower plants, selling them online. So we've been thinking, obviously, Google ratings, all that kind of stuff is very important. So maybe we need to think about branding. So that one day, I call it like a taster day. That was great, just to get a little bit of an insight. So I came just with a kind of open mind, just very interested to see what you were about to sort of present. And I think there's just a few things on the course that one day which caught me a little bit, which kind of led me to sort of think about doing this a bit more in depth, really, because I think for me it identified a bit of a weakness in our business, that we probably weren't taking this as seriously as we should. Because realistically, if you've got an online presence, you've got to get yourself in the right place so people can see you. I think we've got the best plants in the country, but if no one knows us or can find us, well, it's kind of irrelevant, really. So that kind of resonated with us, and that kind of hit home. So I thought, yeah, maybe we probably need to look into this. It's not my natural thing, really, that the branding, marketing, growing plants is, but not that. So I think when it's first approached, obviously it came out that there's these 6-day workshops over 6 months, and my initial thought was, oh, that seems a long time. But yeah, the first session particularly, that was like, yeah, this wasn't quite what I was thinking, not in a negative sense, just that, wow, this is like opening up a completely different field of thought. And I think that was the first thing, and then it suddenly started to expose, oh yeah, maybe I need to be looking at this and thinking like that. So I think it exposed you realised how vulnerable you were as a business, because you had a lot of things that probably weren't in place that should be. And when you start to look at your competitors and what they're doing and how they're succeeding, you're going, oh, they must be doing something right. So it kind of just exposed that. So that was quite that's what was, for me, the initial challenge. It just identified some of our weaknesses in me, and a different mindset. That maybe it was my mindset that was causing the restrictions. So yeah, that first two, I think, were, yeah, I think heavy is probably the wrong word. I think just it's just this realization that you've got to have a bit of a rethink, really. One thing that I have noticed, when I obviously all these days on a Friday, it gives me a weekend to think about things. I do feel slightly more invigorated and empowered, and got a slightly different thought process on the Monday morning. And I think there's probably staff maybe respond to me the Monday after one of these meetings, definitely 2 or 3 weeks, I maybe start to slip back into the normal grind, as it were. But I think just trying to make that sort of mindset change just become natural, and making it, and that's where I hope for the payoff would be for the staff. It pays off, and you can start to influence them, as well as all the things that we've learned, which is about procedures and about the practical stuff. But I think I'd never realised until I think about the second session, and I think you quizzed me on price and things, how a lot of the barriers were things I'd put in, and weren't other people. And I was, not that I was blaming staff, because I wasn't, but my frustrations were, why isn't this working? And then when you come back to that point where you challenged about price, why don't you just drop your price? That was quite a difficult process to go through, because when you've got an ethical product that we have, it's more than just price, product and thing. You kind of hope people will buy in to that a little bit and would pay a slight premium to it. A lot of people don't. They still want the cheapest chips, but all the added benefits as well. It's quite a tussle, quite a wrestle that from a business point of view, because you feel you want to have the benefit of people paying a little bit more for the additional stuff. But by changing our pricing, it did unlock a lot of sales, and it unlocked something in me as well, where the price became too precious, and it almost became self-defeating that we just kept focusing on the price. And so unlocking that and getting back to what we're trying to say, what the product is, what we've learned a bit about today, about stories and that sort of thing, that's probably where the energy should be, and try and focus on that really. I think to me the first initial barrier was branding. What does that mean? You know, all the marketing thing. And I think the Taste Today unlocked a little bit of that. And then I think if you're serious about your business, you realise that, and one of the things that I've really taken from this is you know, this whole thing about you're not selling, you're trying to get people to buy for you. That's really resonated with me. That's been quite a big mindset change. And when you accept that sort of quite serious change, you've got to put in place kind of processes and things to make that work. So that's where you get a lot of the benefit is that, you know, these 6 sessions have given us lots of great information, lots of great ideas. Chatting with the other people on the course has been really invaluable for me, getting their stories, ideas. I like the fact that we get time to talk. There's some good content in there. But I think getting the real strategies of how you can get people to buy from you is really probably for me the big thing I'm taking away from that. And so your brand is much more than your logo. It's much more even than your product. It's everything that you're trying to say and do. And that, after the 6th one now, I've really taken that on board now. I just need a few more years to digest it all and implement it. Yeah, I generally say this, that if you want to grow your business and you're serious about your business as a brand, and of sales are important, then I would definitely encourage anybody to sign up. I really would, because I think it's invaluable.